So, as some of you have noticed by now, I like mobile games. I used to be on the hate bandwagon when I was in high school, acting all superior that I play real video games while everyone plays Candy Crush and Angry Birds. However, when I finally tried out a mobile game, I very quickly ate my words. Now I play them as much as any other game, and look forward to any new ones that look interesting. One of the games I play on occasion is Revue Starlight Relive, named after the anime of a similar name. In it, there's a feature that I've never seen in any other mobile game: the ability to watch ads that give you free pulls to roll the gacha. This even allows you to get characters at the maximum rarity you can obtain in the game, which is pretty rad. So I spent some time watching ads or letting them roll as I look up stuff, chat with friends, listen to YouTube videos, the works. And then this ad plays. Yeah, that was certainly different. I go to look at the game, and it's one called Evertale, and it's $1. That's also a bit different, but dirt cheap or not, I don't feel like juggling another game at the moment. That being said, I am morbidly curious about that ad, and go to look at Evertale. I found out that Evertale looks like this. It's a standard turn-based JRPG kind of game with monster collecting elements. Sure, it's not Pokemon, but here's the thing. Mobile game ads are a bit of a toss-up. Some games you'll get normal gameplay, or you'll just get a rundown of random waifus. Some games will have a YouTuber or streamer promoting the game. Other times there's like a skit that they make about the game. Like this One Punch Man ad I got that I'm convinced is doing the Dunkachino thing.
Let's get started. What's my name?
One Punch Man!
It's a good game.
One Punch Man!
You shouldn't have to pay.
Oh!
Get SSR in a free way. Monday to Sunday, every single day. All these benefits in my pockets. One Punch Man.
One Punch Man!
Who wants to play?
One Punch Man!
That was the highlight of my day, I'm not gonna lie. Back on track though. There's also the very clearly outsourced ads that are a facsimile of the game, using elements from the game but not straight gameplay. That last one is what the Evertale ad felt like to me. Clearly outsourced from some third-party company that heard monster collecting and decided to make the game look like Pokemon. The thing that struck out to me, though, is this game looks very generic fantasy, not horror-themed. So what exactly was with that aspect of the ad I saw? Was that something for only that ad? I needed to look further into this. I ended up finding a channel that has probably cataloged all the ads at this point, and I start watching a couple of them. And I notice there's a slight story going on here. One where an average everyday trainer comes across an entity that reveals that the world, their everything, is a delusion crafted by it, and every time they encounter it, they're sent back to start and told to keep moving. There's also the subplot about a trainer witnessing the sacrifice of a monster and being told that a woman became so obsessed with them that she became a monster, one that needs sacrifices in order to quell her anger, only for another ad, one that's only in Japanese by the way, to have that trainer confront the monster and stop the sacrifices. Then the woman speaks, talking about how they're the same, and that if she's taken out, it'll only benefit the doctor's plan, asking the trainer to come in from the rain and hear the whole story. Which coincides with other ads saying that very same thing, that as you hunt monsters, you become one yourself. Combine that with the mentions of monsters not existing in the first place and all the bloody, mangled bodies that keep popping up in these ads, and it's possible that there really are no monsters, and these trainers are attacking people. Maybe ones that the entity are shifting the reality of in order for they themselves to think that they're monsters. And once any of these trainers learn the truth, they try to leave the reality by any means, whether they glitch out of the confines of the game itself or try looking into a cult that worships this entity, which, real quick, the ad with the cult has probably my favorite mind screw, because it's someone walking up to an altar, and after the text box goes away, it's revealed that the cult snuck up on the trainer, and the text box itself was hiding them, which is so good. It's such an effective scare. I wish it was in a game and not an ad, but I'll give props when they're due. But yes, it seems like that's it. That's the narrative of these ads. These trainers from all parts of the world, or different iterations of this reality the omnipotent being is forcing all of them to undergo again and again, learn the truth of what kind of world they inhabit and aim to break out of it. And at this point I had to wonder, is this an ARG for the game? They do seem to be stringing along a trail of breadcrumbs. Maybe it's done to drum up attention for a horror-themed event for the game. We are approaching October after all, and it's not like games haven't done ARGs before. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines did a Tinder parody as an ARG before it was officially announced, so the idea that these ads in themselves could be an ARG that coincides with an event or something similar in Evertale seemed plausible. Then I realized, this ad campaign started around last year. Surely what these ads are building up to has to have something by now, right? So I checked to see if there was any event tied to these ads in the last year. And I found nothing. What I eventually found was a subreddit aptly named Creepy Evertale, one filled with people cataloging and trying to get to the bottom of this whole dealio. And, well, no. There's still nothing. And it was at this point that I figured there never will be. See, I have to admit something. I've not mentioned a number of these ads that completely burn a hole into any of this. Quite a few of these ads take imagery and ideas from an indie game called Omori. In fact, a lot of these ads lead back to this blatant ripoff of White Space from the game. And there's even this ad that just has something in it. Yes, the creature is actually called something. Now, this alone could be an accident. However, this is not the only blemish in the laundry list of ads. This ad is randomly a farming game turned bloody. This ad is just a 3D car running over sprites of the monsters. This ad has a dude getting isekai'd and reincarnated as a slime. This ad is replicating those dumb puzzle game ads. This ad is Pokemon Go. And then there's just a bunch of ads with creepy imagery that has nothing to do with anything. If there was an ARG in all this, then ads like these wouldn't be tossed in the pot along with the rest of them. They have no real connection to what was shown prior. They're much more low effort in what you'd expect from a game trying to scam you. Which, yes, that is what these ads are for. There is no overarching story or narrative being spun. There is no puzzle to be solved. And it seems like that any sort of plot or themes of consistency that had been going on with a large chunk of these ads were completely coincidental. So yeah, there is no ARG. And I wanted to bring you on that journey to replicate what I went through learning about this whole ordeal and the disappointment that quickly followed. What's more is that the more I looked into this, the less it seemed like the developers of Evertale Zigzag Game were ignorant to these ads. So, Let's dive a bit deeper. One thing that is evident about these ads is that the style is constantly changing. There will be a bit of a similar aesthetic here and there, but most of it is drastically different. Well, the reason for that is because these assets are just taken from different sources. A lot of them are tile sets for RPG Maker, like the creepy cult forest, this beach town that they just changed the colors for, and no doubt many others that I wasn't able to track down. There's even this one done by a creator named Limezoo on itch.io that was used in a dozen of these ads. Combine them with the prior mentioned taking of things from Omori or masquerading as other popular properties, and it's clear that yes, this is indeed an outsourced company slamming things together to make ads, not Zigzagame doing this themselves. However, it's clear that Zigzagame knows about these ads. Here is the first promo image that was shown for Evertale on both the Google and Apple App Store. Here is what it changed to once the horror ads started. The others changed just as drastically. And for reference sake, this is the first promo image as of now. So, they toned down the darker tones and creepypasta vibes, but still kept the bloody bodies and Monster Girl from the ads. Clearly, Zigzagame knew about these ads and leaned in harder because of all the attention they were getting. But the cherry on top, the one that takes this into just an everyday marketing stunt into very scummy territory, Evertale wasn't always $1. It was free. Then, around the time the ads changed, so did the price. For people who already downloaded the game before, they wouldn't notice the change. But for those new people enticed by the creepy ads, they'll see the price tag right there. Their barrier to entry that seems like nothing. $1? I spend more on lunch. I can spare $1. So, that says to me, this wasn't an accident. This was deliberate. Whether Zigzagame gave the word to make all their ads creepypasta-like, we can unfortunately only speculate, as any time a person has tried to contact the company about these ads, they've gone radio silent, which is always a good sign. So, why do this? Why spend the time and money to make hundreds of ads just to try and scam people? Surely anyone who tries the game for 30 minutes or less will realize that they got duped and uninstall the game. Well, here's the thing. The impression I've gotten as I've looked deeper into this whole thing is that a lot of people kind of fell out of Evertale as it drifted further and further away from the monster collecting aspect and leaned harder into the waifu aspect. So what does a company do when they see the active player base starting to die? Fund a campaign of ads that make the game look like this dark, bloody, meta-narrative monster collecting game in a time where indie and obscure horror-related projects and ARGs are really exploding in popularity, and Pokemon as a license is consistently dropping the ball in a lot of people's eyes. Then make a game that was originally free cost $1 or $2 so that even if the person doesn't buy any microtransactions, you already got them. It's predatory as all get out, incredibly sleazy, and it's short-sighted. They were so desperate to get as little money as they could, as quickly as they could, from as many potential people as possible, and in the process they burned the bridges of their own player base and anyone who would learn about this whole fiasco. And that's just sad. More than that, it's disrespectful. There were thousands of people that wanted to play what these ads were selling. Hundreds who spent hours of their day analyzing the multitude of them, thinking them to be an ARG. And let's not forget the fact that they're still doing this. The whistle may have been blown over a year ago, but if I'm any example, they're still trying to rope in new people that didn't hear about this scam. So please, if you take anything from this video, besides the Saitama Dunkachino thing, do not give Zigzagame any of your money. Do not fall for the Evertale trap. There are so many great mobile games out there that want to be a good game first and a product second that are free. Pick any of them. They would be better uses of your time than anything Zigzagame is trying to sell you, and that's a promise. It's not all bad, though. During my trek through the creepy Evertale subreddit, it turns out that they found a Japanese YouTube channel, one that, as you can see, is taking those ads and trying to make an actual tangible thing out of it, showing that even people in Japan wanted these ads to be a real game. There's no saying how far along this project is, but as of August of this year, they've made quite a chunk of progress and are, indeed, stringing the snapshot events of these ads into a genuine narrative. One that I cannot read, but I applaud regardless. And this is the note I want to go out on. That even if a bunch of greedy scumbags disappoint you, ruin your day, and waste your time, the determination and drive of the human spirit can outshine any adversity, and remind us that if we truly want to see a change in the world, even if it's just a decent idea for a creepy video game, we'll have to construct that change with our own hands. Which is probably a sappy way to end this video, but it's much better than being depressed, so I'll take it. Either way, thank you all so much for watching this video. Be safe out there. I'll see you guys next time, and take care. Special thanks once again goes to B17 Balder. I'm not gonna stop saying it like that. For still being a $5 patron on Patreon, and my other patrons for being immensely generous. Once again, I appreciate all that you, and even those who don't donate, do to continue supporting me. Thank you all again for watching the video. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.